Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Welcome to the session. Can you hear me? Please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me as a confirmation. Chat is open. Thank you, Aziz. How are you doing? Thank you all. Thank you very much for your confirmations. Let us stop. Thank you. Thank you, Josna. Thank you all. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. What is our plan for today? Our plan for today is to get started with Linux. Very basic activities like how can we create a file? How can we remove a file? How can we create a directory? How can we remove a directory? How can we navigate between the directories? The difference between remove directory and rm-r. Listing the files and directories. What happens when a file name starts with dot? How to say hidden files? How can we create a hidden directory? Combination of listing options. How can we copy a file? A very frequently used activities of a DevOps engineer with respect to Linux. Every DevOps engineer should be comfortable with the basics of Linux. Okay, so that's the reason even these sessions are very, very important. So that's the reason to learn Linux, we have created a Linux environment. Am I right? Do you remember? We have created a Linux machine on AWS. Let's do that. Let's log into AWS. As you can see, this is the Linux machine which we have created, DevOps 6 AM batch. I have renamed the machine. First, the machine, you can see the status is stopped. You have to first start the machine. Within no time, the machine gets started. And how do we connect to that machine? This is a AWS cloud platform. We have connected to the Linux machine. We have created a Linux machine. How can you connect? You need a terminal. I hope you remember we have installed a terminal called as git bash. Do you remember we have a terminal called git bash? So I will be opening the terminal. Where should we open the terminal? Terminal should be opened in the location where the key pair is available. This is the key pair, which I have downloaded. So right click on this free space, open the git bash. Pick up the SSH command. The machine is in running state. Click on connect, pick up the SSH command and run the SSH command. Are you sure you want to connect to this particular machine? Yes, I have participants. I have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Clear? I have successfully connected to Linux machine. This is a completely new machine which we have created in the previous session. So whenever you want to connect, please start the machine, connect, practice. Once you're done, please stop the machine and then log out of Oracle applications. Perfect. Okay, let's do that. Now, let's start getting with working with files and directories. Okay, let's follow this agenda. Before moving on, any questions on the concepts what we have discussed in the previous session? I hope you all have an AWS account. If you're not having an AWS account, please proceed and go ahead creating an AWS account. Okay, make sure your debit card is enabled for international transactions. And one more important point, you can use credit card, as I mentioned in the previous session. You can use credit card or you can also use debit card. No doubt on it. But RuPay card will not work. You have to use either Visa card or MasterCard. Okay, keep that in mind. Good morning, Pankaj. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir. I'm fine. Hope you
Yeah,
are. So, sir,
yes.
for connection Linux machine, in
Mhm.
real time we can use Git Bash in.
Yes,
Oh,
you can use Git Bash also. There are two options, Pankaj. One
no
is
need for
Putty.
Putty. No, if I don't want to use Putty,
You can
but
use Git Bash. No,
Git
it
Bash.
makes no difference. Okay,
Okay, okay,
both
okay,
are equal. Mhm.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Good morning, Gautam. You have to unmute.
Hello.
Good morning, Gautam.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah.
So, sir, I am working in L1 team. So I am completely new to Linux. So do I
Okay.
need like take a course for Linux before moving to
Not
AWS?
required. I am teaching Linux, right? These are all
Yeah.
Linux required, right? So whatever the Linux concepts, what I have teaching you, that's enough. Okay. You
Yeah.
don't need to
Actually,
be a very strong
yeah.
in Linux. You don't need to learn Linux administration or that. You have to be good in basics of Linux.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Yeah. Thanks, sir. My
That's all.
friend is taking your course, and she suggested to take the course from
Okay.
you, and he
Okay.
suggested that better you can go for Linux first, then you can go to jump into AWS.
So
So I had.
that's the reason we are learning Linux first. Okay. Before we directly jumping into DevOps tool, first took 3 4 days we are learning Linux. That's enough. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let's get started the process of learning Linux. I want to create a file with the name F1. Participants, I want to create a file with the name F1. Okay, so how can we create a file in Linux? If you want to create a file in Linux, we have a command called cat. Cat is a command, use greater than symbol, mention the file name which you want to create, the file gets created. Okay, file gets created and control will enter into the file. Once the file gets created, why are we creating the file? Why do we create a file? To save some data. So let me write some data. Let's, for example, I want to write some content like good morning. Welcome to DevOps course. Thank you. How to come out of the cat command? How to come out of the cat command? So Control D to come out of the cat command. So this is the way to create a file. I'll show you practically. Don't worry. I'll show you practically the way we have to create a file. Please experience it. Cat, use greater than symbol, mention the file name which I want to create. File gets created and you will not get the dollar prompt. Observe here. Are you getting the moment I press enter, the file, you are not getting a dollar prompt. That means your control is entered into the file. So write some content, whatever you want to save it in the file. Let's, for example, good morning. Welcome to day 2 of DevOps. I think it's day 3 DevOps course. And thank you. How to come out of the cat command? Use Control D. That's it. You're out from the cat command and you got the dollar prompt back. So you're done with creating a file. This is the process of creating a file. This is the process of how to create a file. Let me create one more file. Cat, use greater than symbol. Let's say I want to create a file F2. So what are the content you want? Write the content in the file and how to come out of the cat command. Control D to come out of the cat command. I'm done with creating a file. How many files I have created? 2 files, file 1 and file 2. If you want to see list of all the files, if you want to see list of all the files, you may have created 5 files, you may have created 10 files. If you want to see list of all the files, we have a command called ls, stands for list. we have a command called lists, which will give you the list of all the files which you have created. How many files we have created? 2 files. Yes, you are right. F1 and F2. Clear? How to clear the screen? I don't want this. I want to clear the screen. We have a command called clear. We have a command called clear, which helps you to clear the screen, and ls to see list of all the files. Okay, so I'm done with creating a file. How can we create a file? By using cat, what symbol you have to use? Greater than symbol you have to use when you are creating a file. Now, I want to see the data present in the file F1. I want to look at the data present in the file. This F1 file is having some content, right? Good morning, welcome to DevOps course. I have some content. I want to read the data. I want to see the data present inside the file. Whenever you want to see the data, the command is the same, cat command. Cat, don't use greater than symbol. Greater than symbol, we have to use it only when you're creating a new file. I don't want to create a new file. I want to see the data present in the existing file. So mention the file F1. Don't use greater than symbol. Just write cat, mention the file name F1. So are you able to read the data? Are you able to see the data present inside the file? Yes. So this is how you can create a file, and you can see the list of all the files, and you can also read the content present in the file. So this is how you have to deal with files. And how to see list of all the files? ls is a command to see list of all the files. Okay, next. How to remove a file? How to remove a file? Let's say, for example, we have 2 files here, file 1 and file 2. Okay, I want to remove the file to F2. How can we remove a file? Whenever you want to remove a file, we have a command called rm. We have a command called rm, stands for remove. We have a command called rm, stands for remove, which helps you to remove the file. Okay. rm, mention the file name which you want to remove, F2. The file has been removed successfully. Yes. Now ls to see list of all the files. Previously, we are having 2 files, file 1 and file 2. Now there's only one file, F1. Where is F2? F2 has been successfully removed. It has been deleted. So we have a command called rm, stands for remove, which helps you to remove a file. You know the process of creating a file. You know how to see the list of all the files. You also know how can we delete a file whenever you do not want by using the command called rm. So this is all about dealing with files. Let's move on to the next concept, dealing with directory. Let's move on to the next concept, dealing with the directory. What do you mean by directory? In Windows, it is called as folder. In Windows, it is called as folder. Is it? You can create a folder. So for example, these are all folders, right? DevOps 11am is a folder. MongoDB is one folder. Shell scripting is a folder. So in folder, we can have a number of files. Clear? So I want to create a folder. In folder, in Linux, folder is called as directory. I want to create a directory. What's the name of the directory which I want to create? D1 is the name of the directory which I want to create. The directory name which I want to create is D1. So how can we create directory in Linux? We have a command called mkdir, stands for make directory. The command is mkdir, stands for make directory, which helps you to create a new directory. Mention the directory name which you want to create, D1. So that's enough, your directory gets created. Let's execute this particular command. We have a command called mkdir, stands for directory, make directory, and mention the directory name which you want to create, D1. So what happens? The directory gets created. The directory gets created. ls to see list of all the files, not only files, ls will show you the directories also. Can you see? You are able to see directory D1 also. Very important point of observation. The files are shown in black and white, whereas the directory is shown in blue color. That's one way of identification, which one is a file and which one is a directory. I have created a directory. Okay, so this is how you can create a directory. Next. In this particular directory D1, can I create a file inside the directory? Tell me. You have created directory D1. You have created directory. So my point is, can we create a file inside the directory? Okay. Inside D1, can I create some files like something like F10? Can I create one more file, F20? Can I create one more file, F30? These are the 3 files which I want to create, but all these 3 files I want to create it inside a directory. Is it possible? Okay. Now, is it possible? Is it possible to create files inside the directory? Definitely. You can create directories folder. We place a number of files inside the folder. Similarly, you can create any number of files inside the folder. Folder is nothing but the directory. So now my plan is to create a directory D1. And inside the D1, I want to create some files like F10, F20. Can I do it? Yes, I'll be doing it. First, I have created directory. Directory is already created. Okay. Now, very important point. Please observe here. We have a command called pwd, stands for print working directory. We have a command called pwd, stands for print working directory, which will show you the current path you're working. Currently, you're pointing to /home/ubuntu. This is your current path. Currently, where are you? You are creating some files, right? File 1, F1, and D1 you are creating. So where are you creating? You're creating in /home/ubuntu. This is your current path. For example, all these files are available in which location? This is the path, right? E drive today, DevOps 6 a.m. This is the path in the Windows. Similarly, I have created a file D1. I have created a file F1. So where I have created and the /home/ubuntu. So we have a command called pwd, stands for print working, not password. It is print working directory, which will show you the current path in which you are working. Now, do you want to create these files F10, F20, F10, F13, the current path /home/ubuntu? No. You want to create the files in /home/ubuntu. In Ubuntu directory, there's one more directory called D1. So you need to enter into /D1. You need to enter into the directory. First, you have to enter into the directory. Inside the directory, you want to create the files. So how can you enter into the directory? We have a command called cd, stands for change directory. CD stands for change directory, which helps you to navigate to the required directory. And what you want to enter into which directory? D1. Yes, now you are inside the D1. PWD stands for print working directory. You are inside /home/ubuntu/D1. Okay, now you are in the right directory. Previously, you are in which directory? Previously, you are in /home/ubuntu. Now you are in /home/ubuntu. Under Ubuntu, you have created directory D1. Now you are pointing inside the D1. Inside the D1, I want to create some 3 files. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it. You know how to create a file by using cat greater than, mention the file name F10, write some content. File got created, cat greater than second file F20, write some content, control D, file has been created, cat greater than third file F30, control D. How many files you have created? 3 files, F10, F20, F20. Where did you create it? You have created it in the /home/ubuntu/d. So like this, you can create directories, you can navigate to that particular directory, and you can create some set of files and folders inside the directory. Clear? Clear about this? So CD stands for change directory, which helps you to, you have to mention the path to which directory you want to navigate. You will be navigating to that particular directory. Clear? Clear about this? Now, very important point. D1 is the directory. For D1, Ubuntu is the parent directory. The immediate parent directory is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, home is the parent directory. Okay, so this is how the directory structure looks like. If you want to go back to Ubuntu directory, you want to go one step above. You want to go one step above. You want to go to the immediate parent directory. Whenever you want to go to immediate parent directory, cd double dot. cd double dot is a command which helps you to go to one step above. One step is nothing but to go to immediate parent directory. Look at this. cd double dot. The command has been executed. Now, where are you pointing to? pwd, sorry, pwd. You're pointing to /home/ubuntu ls. Yes, you can see that we have created d1 and f1. Why we are not getting clear? Why we are not getting F10, F20, F30? You will not get output F10, F20, 30 because these files are not in this particular location. These files are inside the D. Okay, so whenever you write list, you will get list of all the files and directories in this particular location. Am I clear? Okay, so what you have learned, you also have learned how can we go to one step previous directory, and you also know how to navigate between the directories. Create one more directory D2. What's there? You can do it. mkdir D2. So you can also create a next directory also. So I have created D1, D2 are directories. F1 is a file. Clear? Clear about this? So you have learned the process of creating files, removing files, creating directories. How can you navigate between the directories? Okay. How can we go to the previous directory and all the stuff? Next, how to remove a directory. How to delete a directory. Okay, I want to delete the second directory D2, which I've just now created. I have to remove the directory. mkdir, which helps you to create new directory, isn't it? mkdir D2, what happened? Directory got created. Now, my requirement is not to create a directory. My requirement is to remove a directory. So we have a command called rmdir, stands for remove directory. D2, the directory gets removed. rmdir, which helps you to remove directory. So let's try to remove the D2. Observe rmdir D2. Is it deleted? Are you getting any error? You're not getting an error. The error, that means the command has been successfully executed. The D2 has been deleted. ls2c list of all the files. You're not getting D2 because D2 has been deleted. So rmdir stands for remove directory, which helps you to remove the directory. Similarly, can I remove D1? It should work. rmdir D1. Like how the same command we have used to delete D2. Similarly, I'm trying to delete D1, but interestingly, this command will fail. This command will fail. Please observe here. It's what's happening. To delete D1, D1 is not empty. Do you remember D1 is not empty? D1 is having F10, F20, F30. So D1 is not empty. Looks like the connection has been disconnected. Let's connect again. Connected. ls rmdir remove directory D1 will fail. Because directory is not empty. So remember, very important option, rmdir will work only when the directory is empty. D2 was empty, so it has been successfully deleted. D1 is not empty. D1 is having some set of files F10, F20, and F30. So that's the reason as it is not empty, rmdir is unable to remove the directory. If you want to remove a directory, even though it is having some set of files, you have an option called rm-r. R stands for recursive. And mention the directory which you want to delete, D1. Please observe here. Is the command successfully executed? And are you able to delete the D1 also? Yes. So rmdir will work successfully only when the directory is empty. If the directory is not empty, you have to use a command called rm-r, mention the directory which you want to delete. R stands for recursive. What do you mean by recursive? So what happens is, first the files which are there inside the directory will be removed, and finally the directories. The recursive option. Files will be removed, files and folders, nested files and folders will be removed, and finally the directory will also be removed. So that's the concept of rm-r. So that's what I have mentioned here in the slide. Difference between rm-r, please observe. rmdir fails and rm-r works only when the directory is full, then rm-r will work. Okay, so that's the difference between remove directory and rm-r. Okay, next, very important. Let's make ourselves comfortable with dealing with the directories. Now, my requirement is I want to create a directory D1. Under D1, I want to create D2. Under D2, I want to create D3. Under D3, I want to create D4. It's a tree structure. Okay, so I want to create this kind of nested directories. I want to create this kind of nested directories. D1, under D1, I want to create one more directory, D2, under D2, D3, under D3, D4. Can we do it? Can we create this kind of nested directories? Yes, it's pretty easy. Let's spend some time making ourselves comfortable with the concept of nested directories. Right now, ls, there are no directories, we have only one file, f1. So let's go ahead and create my first level that is called as D1. So how to create a directory? We already know it. mkdir D1, directory got created. Can we confirm? Yes. ls, yes, directory got created. Next. Don't create mkdir t2. Don't do it here. Because the second directory should be inside the first directory. Second directory should be inside the first directory. So first you have to enter into the directory D1. So how do you enter into a particular directory? We have a command called cd, mention which directory you want to enter. So you are entering into the first directory. Inside the first directory, can you see pwd will show you the current working directory? You are pointing to /home/ubuntu D1. And now inside D1, you are creating directory D2, mkdir D2. Perfect. Now enter into second directory, cd D2. mkdir D3. cd D3. mkdir D4. cd D4. Yes. Now pwd stands for print working directory. Where are you pointing to? We are pointing to /home/ubuntu. Under Ubuntu, we have D1. Under D1, we have D2. Under D2, we have D3. Under D3, we have D4. So this kind of hierarchical structures we have successfully created. Very important observation. For D1, the parent is D3. For D3, the parent is D2. For D2, the parent is D1. Okay, so here. So for D3, the parent is D2. For D2, the parent is D1. For D1, the parent is Ubuntu. For Ubuntu, the parent is home. For home, the parent is /root. So that's the topmost directory. So this is the hierarchical structure. Okay. Now, one step back, if you want from D3, right now you're pointing to D4, you want to go back to D3. So one step above, you can do it by using cd double dot. Okay. But my point is, I want to move to this particular location. I want to move to this particular location. I want to move to /home/ubuntu. If you want to now point out to /home/ubuntu, you have to write cd double dot one time so that you go to D3, cd double dot one more time, you go to D2, under again cd double dot, and again you have to go to cd double dot. So cd double dot you have to execute 4 times. Instead of that, you can mention the path where you want to move to cd from the root /home/. So like this, you can go to the specified location by pointing to the entire path /home/. Now you're in /home/ubuntu. So this is how you should be comfortable navigating between the files and directories. Clear? Any questions? Any questions, my dear participants? Yes, Pankaj, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, CD double dot is used for one backspace. CD single dot, anything we can use?
Single dot ls place. Dot refers to current working directory.
The
So
same
we
directory.
we don't use cd with dot. We have some other commands to use with dot. We'll discuss that in the coming sessions.
Okay.
Okay.
And sir,
Yeah.
cat for cat command, can we use like F10, 20, and 30? We have created file. So can we use cat greater than space F10, F20, F30?
Cat command is used to create one file. That's all.
Only one file.
Because when you are creating a cat command, you are asking you to enter, control will enter into the cat command. You have to write some data, isn't it? So to which file you want the data to be sent. So cat is used for only one file. Okay. When you want to create multiple files, we have another option called touch command. We'll be seeing that soon.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
Pankaj?
Got it, sir. Thank
You're
you, sir.
from which location?
I'm from Bangalore location.
Bangalore. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. So we are done with how to work out with files. Very important activities like dealing the files and dealing the directories. Okay. Next. Long list. What do you mean by long list? Let's learn. Yes, Dhananjay. I can see your hand raised, Dhananjay. You are now allowed to unmute. Okay. Please observe. ls to see list of all the files. I have created a file F1. I want to see the data in the file F1. At F1. So this particular file is having 3 lines of content. Good morning, welcome to DevOps, and thank you. It's a 3 lines of content. Okay. Yes. Now, we have how many files and how many directories? Participants, in this current path, how many files and how many directories we are having? We have only one file and we have only one directory, F1 and D. ls will just show me the list. Will just list out how many files and how many directories. But I want more information about the file F1. I want more information about the file. This means I want to know what is the size of the file. This F1 size, how many bytes? Okay. What is the size of the directory? I want to know the size information. I want to know the date and time when the file has been created. I want to see the owner of the file. Who is the owner of the file? Owner is nothing but which user has created this particular file. I want to know the file permissions. So this kind of additional information, I want to have it. I want to have this kind of additional information. ls is capable of only showing you a list of all the files and directories, but I want more information about the date and time when the file has been created. Who is the owner of the file, when the file has been created, day, when the file has been created, what is the size of the file. This kind of additional information, you'll get it when you use ls-l. L stands for long. L stands for long. Long stands for long information, long list. Please observe. The result is the same. We have D1 and F1. Previously also we have D1 and F1, but you have additional information. So it is giving you some more additional information about F1. Coming to this one, this is about information related to D1. So what information you are able to get? You can see here, 58 bytes is nothing but the size of the file F1. F1 is of 58 bytes. Can you see this is the date and time when the file has been created? The file F1 has been created and specific date and time. This is the owner of the file. This is the group what the file belongs to. This is the permission related to file. Similarly, these are the permissions related to directory. This is the size of the directory. This is the date and time. So are you getting more information? Metadata. A normal list will just give you names. Normal list will just give you names. 1 minute. So normal list will give you a list of all the files and directories. But if you want more information about the size, date and time and all that stuff, please go for long list. What is the long list option? -L is nothing but long list will give you more information. Very, very interesting and important, frequently used long listing options. Okay, perfect. Temi. Yes. Your question, please. You have to unmute first. By default, you will be on mute, Temi. Yeah.
Hello, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. I just want to understand when you said the permission of the file. So DR, the first alphabetic, the first alphabets. Yes, yes. What does that mean?
Okay. So
Please, thank you.
R stands for read. Okay. W stands for write permission. X stands for execute permission. D refers to a directory. A D1 is a directory, right? Okay.
Okay, yes.
So that's why it is represented. So first character is used to identify whether it's a file or a directory. If you're able to see D, that means this is a directory. If you're able to see hyphen, that means it is a file. Okay. And coming to permissions, there are three types of permissions: read, write, and execute. R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute. Anyways, we'll have more detailed discussion about permission in the next session. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dhananjay.
Hi, sir. Sorry for the last time.
No
So
problem.
actually, I have one doubt, sir, here. So at the starting of the class, we have created with the cat greater than sign, right, sir? Is a text file or else any other file, sir? Because we haven't mentioned any extension to that, right?
In Linux, there is no concept of extension. Okay. In Windows, let's say, for example, .doc refers to a document, isn't it? PDF refers to a PDF file, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So .mp4 refers to a video. Okay. Whereas in Linux, there is no importance for extension. So it does not need, if you mention extension, if you don't mention extension, that does not make any difference. Okay. There is no concept of extensions in Linux.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next. So long list we have learned. What happens when a file name starts with dot? What happens when a file name starts with dot? Let's experience it. Let us experience it. I want to create a file, cat greater than dot f file. Very important observation. The file name I'm starting with dot. So let's first create the file, cat greater than dot f file. So write some content into the file. How to come out of the cat command? Control D to come out of the cat command. So we are done with creating a file. What's the name of the file? .fy. Very important observation. The file name is starting with dot. Now ls we already know will show us list of all the files. You are able to see f1. You are able to see the directory d1. So what about .fy? Are you able to see the file? No, you are unable to see this particular file. We are unable to see the file which we have just now created because this particular file is a hidden file. This file is a hidden file in Linux. In Linux, when a file name starts with dot, it is considered as a hidden file. So this is a hidden file. .fy is a hidden file. Similarly, if a directory name starts with dot, I want to create a directory mkdir .d3. I want to create a directory. This becomes a hidden directory mkdir .d3. I'm done with creating a directory. ls, are you able to get d3? No. Why we are unable to see the D3? Because it is a hidden directory. It is a hidden directory. So when a file name starts with dot, it's a hidden file. When a directory name starts with dot, it's a hidden directory. ls will not show you hidden files. It will show you normal files. Whereas ls-a stands for all information. Normal files as well as hidden files also you'll get it. Please observe. .d3, are you able to see it? In the same way, .fi are able to see the hidden file and hidden directory. Yes, -a stands for ls-a. A stands for all the files. It's normal files as well as hidden files, but very important observation. There are some hidden directories also, .ssh, .cache, .bash rc, .bash history, .bash logout. So don't worry about these hidden files and hidden. There are some predefined hidden files and hidden directories, but you are in a position to list out the hidden files also. So how many listing options we have learned? A normal list will give you names and directories, file names and directories. ls-all L stands for long list, will give you the file permissions, date and time, size. ls-a will give you norm file list, but along with the hidden files. You can use a combination. So we can use a combination ls-la, combination of L option, combination of A option. You can use a combination of LA. ls-la. L stands for long list of normal files, not just normal files. It will give you a long list of hidden files also. So if you want to know the date and time when the hidden file has been created, the size of the hidden file, so you can use a long listing options to get the required information. Yes, Ipamu.
Yeah, sir, can we add a file in the hidden directory?
You can. We have created one hidden directory. The name of the hidden directory is D3. Am I right?
Oh, okay.
cd dot D3. Now I am pointing to the hidden directory. In the hidden directory, you can create file names and like find something like, okay, some F7 and Control D. Yes, you have successfully created a file F7. This file is present inside the hidden directory directory. So you can, the behavior of the hidden directory is the same like normal directories. You can create files and folders inside the hidden directory. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So we can use a combination of listing options. So total, how many listing options we have learned? We have learned two listing options. One is a normal list, the other one is long list, the other one is hidden files also. So you know the behavior of hidden files, okay, and combination of listing options. How can you copy a file? How can we copy a file? Okay. Yes, Rachel.
Thank you. What's the use case for a hidden directory? Why would we use a hidden directory?
So if you observe, we don't much use hidden directories, but this is an option in Linux. Okay. As a Linux administration resources will use hidden directories for managing their operating system, but as a DevOps engineer, you will not much use the concept of hidden directories. But you should know what you mean by hidden directory, because have you observed we have a command, we have a hidden directory .ssh. Okay, this is used for communication between two Linux machines. So we're using this hidden directory .ssh. But as a DevOps engineer, you will not get a requirement to create a new hidden directory, but you may need to use existing hidden directories. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Next. We have a file F1. I think it is having some content, cat F1. So it is having 3 lines of content. Good morning, welcome to day 2, and thank you. Now, what are the file? We have the file F1. I want to copy the content into a file, something like F20. I want to copy the file F1 to F20. Do we have F20 now? Do you have F20? No, we don't have. We have only the source file. We don't have the destination file. No problem. We have a command called cp, stands for copy. Mention the source, mention the destination. Got it? cp, what is the source file? F1 is your source. Okay, so which file you want to copy and where do you want to copy? I want to copy into file F20. Even the file does not exist, what happens is the copy command will create a new file, and whatever the content is there in the file F1, the same content will be copied into the second file. Please observe here, copy source F1, destination F20. You can see, interesting, copy command has been successfully executed. You can see a new file got created. If you see, read the data in F20, are you able to get the same content? Good morning. Well, what are the content you have it in the source file? The same content as it is available in the destination. So you can copy the file from one file to other file by using the copy command. Next. How did we create a file? Participants, how did we create a file? We have okay. So we have successfully created a file by using the cat use greater than symbol, mention the file. This is how you have created a file, right? By Control D to come out of the file. That's good. There's one more way to create a file by using touch command. We have one more way to create a file by using touch command. Let's experience it. First, let me create the file by using cat command, which we already know. Cat greater than F3, Control D. File got created. F3. I want to create a file F4 by using touch command. Pretty simple. Touch F4. That's all. File gets created. Touch F4. File got created. Touch F5. File got created. Are you able to see file 4 and file 5? Yes. What is the difference of creating a file by using the cat command and creating a file by using touch command? I hope you have experienced it. When you create a file using the cat command, the file gets created. Immediately control will enter into the file. You are writing some content and you are using Control D to come out of the cat command. So file gets created, you are writing some contents into the file and you are coming out of the file. Whereas if you create a file by using touch command, the file gets created, immediately you're getting it all from back. You're not writing some content. Yes, the purpose of the touch command is to create an empty file. The purpose of the touch command is to create an empty file. If your plan is to create an empty file, later if you want, you can edit the data and you can write some content. But immediately you want to create some empty file, you can do it by using the touch command. Okay. Now ls-l will give you long list. Can you see the file F4 and the file F5, which we have created by using the touch command? Observe the size, 0 bytes. That's a proof that the files are empty files. This is no content, it's an empty file. So if your plan is to create empty files, you can do it by using touch command. And you can create multiple files using the one command. So let's, for example, I file F6, F7, F8. Okay, got it? So one command helps you to create multiple files. Got it? So in how many ways you can create a file? In Linux, in how many ways you can create a file? So I hope you have experienced the two ways of creating a file by using the cat command, use greater than symbol, mention the file which you want to create. And the other way is by using the touch command. This is how you can create a file. Clear? Clear about this? Any questions? Very good. Perfect. Once you're done practicing, what you have to do, exit to close the close the connection. One more time, exit to close the terminal. Next, once you're done, what you have to do, select the machine and you have to stop the machine. That's a good practice. Okay. Okay. So this is what I have planned for today's session. In the next session, we are learning more in detail concepts of how can we deal with permissions. Okay. And a very important concept called file permissions. And there's a keyword called sudo keyword, more technical concepts. There's a keyword called sudo keyword. Very interesting concepts. These are planned for next session. One important notice. Please complete the payment formalities. I'll just guide you how to make the payments because these are all demo sessions. But if you want to enroll, please complete it. I hope you know how to do it. The site is logiclabstech.com. Go to upcoming batches. So our batch is 302. You have an option called buy now. Okay. So here we have an option called buy the course button. As per Indian rupees, it is 6499. Check out. You can log in with your Google and complete the payment process. You can make the payment using Google Pay, UPI, as well as debit card, whatever it is. One more important point. There is no session tomorrow. I have a meeting early morning. So there will be no session tomorrow. The continuation of this session will be on Saturday. Even though it is a weekend, but still Saturday morning in India, we'll be continuing this practice. So there's 1 day gap, 1 day break. Tomorrow I'll not take the session. So I'll take the session the day after tomorrow. That's on Saturday session. I hope you are in the WhatsApp group. You will get the same information. I strongly recommend, please join the WhatsApp group. I'll share you the WhatsApp group information. I hope you are already in the WhatsApp group. Just posted the WhatsApp link. So if you're already in the group, that's okay. If you're not in the group, please join the WhatsApp group, especially for the new participants, so that you get the updates about this training. Again, I repeat, tomorrow we'll not have any session. The next session will be a day after tomorrow. Do not miss the Linux. These are very, very important topics. Have a good time. Thank you very much.